And Nick Rushworth's with us in the studio now for a look at the media buzz surrounding the UK's EU referendum. Just a few hours now until we will know the results.
Well, François Piquet, they're talking about the rain, but actually some of the buzz in the media is not so much about getting wet, but about what actually happens in the voting booth. Let's go to the New York Times, which has got this piece saying that mistrustful of authorities, Leave voters have been urged to use pens. You can see the hashtag use pens. And this is, if we have a look more closely, is about...
Well, what have people been using?
Well, when you go into the booth, what happens is, you can see there a picture of Brexit in or out. You have a pencil to mark your decision. And the fear among some people in the Brexit camp is that that could, in fact, be a fraud, that they could be rubbed out, those pencil things. And so there's a hashtag use pens. And you can see there from my own tweet, police were called in at one point as a woman handed a pen to EU referendum voters. So the fears about rigging there was extraordinary. The Independent there has got this story showing Brexit supporters urged to take their own pens amid fears of an MI5 conspiracy. Now, the MI5 conspiracy would be, I guess, to spend their whole night actually rubbing out those Brexit decisions there. Huffington Post there saying the whole situation has gone from EU voting conspiracy theory to full-blown hysteria. And of course, you get all those lovely tweets, don't you, saying howls of derision. Look at this one saying, well, I would use a pen, but it was a Bic from France, so I didn't bother. So a nice mix there of prejudice and British practicality. There, just the Electoral Commission in the UK saying, it's fine, pencil in the booth, it's fine, don't worry about it, and you can use your pens as well, just don't leave it behind.
Oh yeah, someone's going to have to pick them all up. On days like this, we always see the faces of the campaigns on both sides going to the polling booths. We saw David Cameron and his wife going to vote earlier today, and the press has been taking a look at main Brexit cheerleader and former Mayor of London, Boris Johnson. What's he been up to today?
Well, Boris Johnson, one of the stories out there, which is you can see in this HuffPost piece, saying that he has admitted writing a second Daily Telegraph column. And remember, a few weeks ago, very momentously, he came out of his house and said, I am really pushing for the Brexit. And that same evening, he actually wrote a second article, which was never printed, in which he said, I support David Cameron, I support my party. So, of course, the HuffPost goes through all the twists and turns of Boris Johnson's decisions on the whole idea of this referendum in the first place. One tweet I liked, Laura, was, well, maybe Boris Johnson, if there is a Remain, maybe he should go off and become a European Commissioner. That one tweeted a few weeks ago, actually, about Boris.
All right. And you've been looking at, obviously, the buzz in the UK, but outside the UK, of course, across Europe, the media's been weighing in on the debate.
Well, this is a lovely bribe from BILD paper, which is saying that...
In Germany?
Yeah, if you stay in, guys, if you vote on that box which says, I'm going to stay in the European Union, then we will just forget totally that 1966 football match when Geoff Hurst scored a goal at the end of the World Cup final between England and Germany. You obviously don't remember that. But,
don't remember that one. So.
The BILD is saying that, yes, we will forgive you for that, and also we will lay out some beds for you if you vote to stay in the European Union. And of course, that's making a lot of the buzz, as this tweet there saying, well, among the 11 promises made by the people that in a future game between England and Germany, it's the Euro 2016 now, that in fact the German goalie would just move to one side and let the England goal go in. So that's a bribe, Laura. So what we've got, of course, is a whole drive across the European countries, really just lots of papers saying, stay in, we love you. And you've sort of seen
most of the European press is saying that,
they are. But also you've got a whole kissing chain campaign. You've got a lot of people out there urging the Brits to vote for really to stay in the European Union. I
did notice it wasn't high up on the most trending topics on Twitter, though, which surprised me.
Well, there are things going on in the world, but of course what matters is that if there is a decision to leave the European Union, it will be massive and lots of people around the world will be affected.
It will, OK. Well, Jolyon Howarth is here. He's a professor of European politics.